So I got nothing else going on. Jayson Tatum, people say he's pretty awesome. He had 25 points, 10 rebounds as Boston beat Cleveland by 15. I mentioned Blake in Arkansas, our P1. This guy's a business mogul, this guy Blake. And he had sent a message on X. I didn't see it until a little bit later once the game had started, but he had the Cavs plus 16. And it was nip and tuck at the end, but he ended up winning. But the Celtics win by 15, and they advance to the Eastern Conference Finals for the third straight season. Al Horford. Now, briefly, I moonlighted on some other sports talk station in Boston, and at that time, Al Horford, his nickname was Average Al, and he's still known as Average Al. And for most of the time this playoff, he's been just kind of taking up space, but not in the game that was played on Wednesday night. Al Horford had 22 points, 15 rebounds, and 6 money balls. The Celtics had 19 three-pointers, which sounds impressive until you consider they shoot the three-point shot pretty much every time down. And so the Celtics win their third consecutive game in the series, and they get a 4-1 series win. And now Boston will sit back and eat donuts, and they'll wait to play the winner of the matchup between the Knickerbockers and the Pacers, New York leading that series 3-2. The Cavaliers, if you didn't watch, you probably didn't, they were extremely battle-scarred, short-handed, however you want to say it. They didn't have Donovan Mitchell out with a calf injury, Jarrett Allen, the center, rib injury, and Karis LeVert had a bum knee. Now, since the game was a dud, not a milk dud, just a dud, the content machine was filled by Jayson Tatum. Right? There were no pins and needles moments unless you happen to have a wager on the game, but the outcome was not in debate. By about, I'd say about the 9-minute mark, the Celtics put on a burner, and that was it. But following the victory, TNT interviewed Jayson Tatum, and they asked Jayson Tatum whether the Celtics' consistency over the last couple of seasons has caused voters to overlook him when it comes to awards, mainly the Most Valuable Player Award, which went to Nikola Jokic. Well, we have the audio tape, so let's go to the audio tape. Here's what Jayson Tatum said as he responded to that question about the Celtics being so good that Tatum gets overlooked. Let's go to the audio tape.
Oh, man. It's a lot of things I wish I could say, but, that's not for me to decide. Everybody has their job, the voters, and vote who they think should win MVP. Jokic rightly deserved that this year. Right now, at this point of the season, all the awards are voted on. Only thing that matters is, getting that big trophy. So we can worry about the individual awards later down my career, but this year, just try and get the championship.
Okay. So let's discuss. Jayson Tatum, you heard it. He played a little dodgeball on that question about whether or not he's being overlooked for MVP honors. Can you unscramble that? So I've got dog whistle, Greyhound bus, and camper. We'll combine all of these things together, and we'll make fighting words. All right, number one. I would also like to alert all the affiliates, Lorena has eaten the number one chicken wing. She has consumed the number one chicken wing. So to answer the question, Jayson Tatum dodging the question about whether or not he's being overlooked for these awards because the Boston basketball team is good. The way I interpret it, and I'm never wrong about these things, Jayson Tatum gave a passive-aggressive, diplomatic answer. Does that make sense? Does that work for you? Like, he didn't bite the cheese, but he kind of did. He nibbled on it. He didn't bite it, but he nibbled. And he let his true feelings come out. He used coded language. That opening line, dead giveaway, dead giveaway. When Jayson Tatum said, there's a lot of things I wish I could say, but anytime you put but in there, that's a lot, right? He wants to say it, but he knows he can't say it, so he didn't say it, but he wants to say it, so he used the dog whistle. He is cantankerous. he expected the basketball scribes to vote for him and to give him a special order from 1-800-Flowers, and instead he got a lump of coal. So reading the fortune cookie for Jayson Tatum, all things are difficult before they are easy. Meaning, for those of you a little slow, maybe Tommy in Atlanta there driving his truck around, it means that if the Celtics do what they're supposed to and win the bling-bling, Jayson Tatum will be put on a pedestal, and then the awards will come flowing towards him. That you can wave a magic wand, and all of a sudden, you get an award, and you get an opportunity to get an award, and all that. Now, page 2. Flip side, Cleveland was absolutely flummoxed in the late stages of this game. They have now been excommunicated from the playoffs. Who's the fall guy for the Cadavers and their demise? So there are going to be multiple changes, but we are hearing that Coach J.B. Bickerstaff, who is related to former NBA coach Bernie Bickerstaff, but J.B. Bickerstaff's job is in serious jeopardy. Despite back-to-back playoff appearances, including their first playoff series win without LeBron since 1993, someone is going to be a human sacrifice. When in doubt, throw the coach out. Get out of here. So what's going to happen, since the Cavs were missing in action, many of their top players there chose not to compete, you're going to send Bernie Bickerstaff a nice gift package. Inside the gift package with a bow on it will be a Greyhound bus ticket. He will then go to the Greyhound bus station, and you will be giving him a one-way ticket out of Dodge. See you later. Goodbye to the land. The mistake by the lake. You're out of here. It is a players' league, we're told all the time. Coaches are disposable, and especially a guy like Dan Gilbert, the owner of the Cleveland basketball team, who has no patience. No patience on the cutting edge at all times. Now, final point. With Bickerstaff hanging on by a thread, by the skin on his chinny chin, likely to be fired. Another prominent Cleveland puzzle piece is said to be dabbling in some old-fashioned window shopping. Yes, the plot thickens around the Cavaliers. You know what happens every summer? Every summer, one or two big names has a hissy fit, and they want out of the city they're in. They want nothing to do with the team they're playing with, and they want to go somewhere else. Happens every summer. And we're heading into that period now with teams eliminated. We're almost down to the Final Four in the NBA. So how should the Cavaliers handle Donovan Mitchell's situation? Because that's who this is about, Donovan Mitchell and his predicament. So my advice is to prepare for divorce court. I know the song said that breaking up is hard to do. Boots on the ground have been whispering in hushed tones that Donovan Mitchell is a camper. Not the kind of camper that's going to go to a national park. Donovan Mitchell is a camper, as in an unhappy camper. He never wanted to go to Cleveland. He wanted to go to the Knicks. But from what I've heard, he didn't even want to play for the Knicks anymore because that's now Jalen Brunson's team. And even if Donovan Mitchell went there, it would still be Jalen Brunson's team because the fan base has fallen in love with Jalen Brunson, even though he's from that part of the country. So he wants brighter lights. He wants a bigger stage. And I almost puked in my mouth, but everyone that I've reached out to says Tinseltown, that he wants to join the elitism of the Lakers. And so if not La La Land, watch out for something perceived to be more glamorous than Cleveland.